Okay, this is the geography uh, thing for US history. So I'm going to roll through the states and capitals here. Go to present. And so if you have your map, go to the first map, the one that's blank, and we'll get started here. All right, so the very first state, and you can see my pointer here on the screen, so it'll kind of help point to things, is Washington State. It's dark blue here. It's up in the upper right-hand corner. Underneath that is Oregon. Underneath that, kind of along the coast here, one of the largest states in the country in terms of both land mass and the size of its economy is California. Right next to California, kind of sharing the Mojave Desert with Southern California, is Arizona. Right above Arizona and kind of next to California in the Great Basin area is Nevada. Idaho is right above Nevada, known for its potatoes. Montana, very large state with no speed limits, in between the towns that are kind of separated by lots and lots of wilderness. Wyoming is right there. It's out of the two square states, it's the one that's on top. And it's got one of the smallest populations of any state in the country, mostly due to the fact that the land there is not good for farming. It's only good for ranching, because grass will grow, but the soil is just kind of too thin for crops to really take hold. And so if you've ever seen the series Yellowstone, that gives you a kind of a picture of what life in Wyoming is like. Utah is this blue state right here, home of the Mormons. And we'll, of course, be talking about them as we get further into the year. Colorado is right here, known for its resort towns and whatnot, skiing in the Rockies and things like that. Underneath that is New Mexico, which is kind of flat, kind of arid, but is now very well known because of the series Breaking Bad. Obviously, one of the largest states in the Union, which used to be a completely separate country when it broke away from Mexico and became the Lone Star Republic, is Texas, in green here. Right above that is Oklahoma, which at one point was all a giant Native American reservation until it was opened up to white settlers in the late 1800s. Kansas is above that. We'll be talking about kind of the whole mess in Kansas when we are talking about the lead up to the Civil War, bleeding Kansas, etc. Above that is Nebraska, green there. Above that is South Dakota. And above that is North Dakota. And of course, we'll be talking about who the Dakota or the Sioux were and the wars they fought with our armies. Minnesota is this land right, or this state right here, the land of 10,000 lakes. Below that is Iowa, part of that breadbasket of America group of states where they grow enormous amounts of corn and other important crops. Missouri is right here. Underneath Missouri is Arkansas. And underneath Arkansas is Louisiana, the boot here. Of course, that's where the famous port of New Orleans is. We'll be talking about that when we get to major cities. The state right next to Arkansas and Louisiana is Mississippi. Okay, same name as the river. And it does share a border with the river if you're trying to remember, which is which in terms of Mississippi and its neighboring state, which looks like a mirror image of it, Alabama. And then, of course, we've got Florida, which is, this peninsula sticking down into the Atlantic. And right above Florida is Georgia. South Carolina is to the north of that. And then, of course, right above that is North Carolina. Tennessee, hopefully you're already aware of where Tennessee is right above Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. And then right above Tennessee is the state of Kentucky. And Illinois is this blue state right here. Okay, of course, it's well known for its big city of Chicago, which is right there on Lake Michigan. Wisconsin is right here, well known for its dairy farming. Michigan actually encompasses two separated pieces of land, the Upper Peninsula here, and then the rest of Michigan right there. Indiana is this state right here, right next to Illinois, right south of Michigan, and then right next door to that is Ohio. And this purple state right here, the original colony, the first colony, Virginia, is right here. And then during the Civil War, we'll be talking about how Virginia will actually lose some of its territory because part of its state will break away and join the Union, and that becomes West Virginia. And then, of course, we have Alaska down here, have it colored blue. And if you were to put Alaska on top of, the continental 48, it would cover a huge swath. It would cover pretty much the entire Great Plains. So it's a really large state. And then way out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, we have Hawaii. All right, we're going to zoom in on the Northeast here. Pennsylvania is this blue state here. New York is right above that. Vermont is this purple state here. New Hampshire is this green state. And Maine is the northernmost of the 48 contiguous states. Massachusetts is this yellow state here with Cape Cod sticking out into the ocean. Rhode Island is this very small state right here underneath Massachusetts, and right next to it is Connecticut. You'll notice that Long Island, which is right here, is part of New York. New Jersey is right across the Delaware River from Pennsylvania. We'll be talking about the famous crossing of the Delaware by Washington. And of course, Delaware, the state, is right here, kind of south of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And right next door to Delaware is Maryland, which does have kind of an odd shape here, but it is this red state. And that takes us to capitals. Okay, so the dots with the stars in them are capitals. Those are the only ones we're going to worry about right now. Don't worry about the solid black dots. Those are major cities. We'll cover those later. All right, so we're just doing the dots with the stars in them. So starting up here with Washington's capital, that is Olympia. The capital of Oregon is Salem. Capital of California is Sacramento. The capital of Alaska is Juneau, okay? And notice how it's not this black dot here, but it's in the islands kind of along Canada's coastline. That is where Juneau is located. And then the capital of Hawaii is Honolulu, right there on the island of Oahu. Phoenix is the capital of Arizona. Carson City is the capital of Nevada. Salt Lake City is the capital of Utah. Boise is the capital of Idaho. Helena is the capital of Montana. Cheyenne is the capital of Wyoming. Denver is the capital of Colorado. Santa Fe is the capital of New Mexico, not Santa Fe, Santa Fe. Austin is the capital of Texas. Oklahoma City is the capital of Oklahoma. Topeka is the capital of Kansas. Lincoln is the capital of Nebraska. Pierre is the capital of South Dakota. Bismarck is the capital of North Dakota. One of the Twin Cities, St. Paul, is the capital of Minnesota. The other one, by the way, is Minneapolis. So we'll talk about that when we talk about major cities. Des Moines is the capital of Iowa. Jefferson City is the capital of Missouri. Little Rock is the capital of Arkansas, right there in the middle of Arkansas. And Baton Rouge is the capital of Louisiana, right there. And we're going to zoom in on the southeast here. Jackson is the capital of Mississippi. Nashville is the capital of Tennessee. Frankfurt is the capital of Kentucky. Charleston is the capital of West Virginia. Richmond is the capital of Virginia, and it was the capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War. Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina. Just ignore this. This is a major city here, but Columbia is the capital of South Carolina. Atlanta is the capital of Georgia. Montgomery is the capital of Alabama. And Tallahassee is the capital of Florida, right there, kind of as you're getting towards the panhandle. And now we're going to zoom in on the Northeast. Madison is the capital of Wisconsin. Springfield is the capital of Illinois. Indianapolis is the capital of Indiana. Lansing is the capital of Michigan. Columbus is the capital of Ohio. Harrisburg is the capital of Pennsylvania. Annapolis is the capital of Maryland. So you notice that these dots are sometimes so big, they're kind of covering up parts of the state there. Right on the border between Maryland and Virginia is Washington, D.C., which is the capital of the entire country. It's not a part of any state. It's its own separate federal territory. Dover is the capital of Delaware. Trenton is the capital of New Jersey. Albany is the capital of New York. Again, that's a major city in New York City. We won't cover that until we get to major cities, so don't worry about it. Hartford is the capital of Connecticut. Again, because I couldn't make the dots below a certain size, the dot actually is covering up the state of Rhode Island, but just keep in mind that Rhode Island's underneath there. Providence is the capital of Rhode Island. Boston is the capital of Massachusetts. That's right there. Concord is the capital of New Hampshire. Montpelier is the capital of Vermont. And Augusta is the capital of Maine. So that is your states and capitals. And make sure you have those down and then study off the blank map, and you'll be ready for the states and capitals quiz on Friday.